Hey everybody, welcome into Winning Edge Football. This is your host, Zach Wynn. Got your boy Tanner. Hey, we're back again for another round of fun activities here at the old Winning Edge football team. And we got some good stuff to talk about this week. Football's coming to an end. Slowly. It's taking its time. We had a great divisional round of football this past weekend. We have a great AFC NFC championship game coming up this weekend. And we're having a lot of coaches moving around and some breaking news. New coaches are finding their new teams. So, Tanner, let's get into this shit, man. Let's fire it up. What's your thoughts today? You all right? You doing good? Everything's
Doing
flying?
great.
Blood's flowing?
Doing great. Ready to roll. We got all sorts of fun stuff to talk about. Zach just threw it down. We're going to spit some truth at you. Or maybe in your mind, we're going to spit some bullshit at you. Who knows?
No, you never know.
But here we go.
I'm on board with all of it. Either way. So, last weekend, we had an amazing slate of games, honestly. It wasn't as many blowouts besides this first game. The Houston Texans went and visited the Baltimore Ravens, and they got taught a little lesson that Baltimore ain't no joke. Baltimore's one of the best teams in the league for a reason, and they did not perform, Tanner. How was your thoughts on that football game? It was early. It was like 3 o'clock game Saturday, 4 o'clock game Saturday, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
But it was a little earlier.
Early game, which I think sometimes throws players off because, they're either you're starting at 1 o'clock or you're starting at, maybe 4:30 sometimes in the afternoon. And then all your other games are, prime time, late at night. But when it's a 3 o'clock or 3:30 or 4 o'clock start, I think that little time difference may play a factor in some of those players' psyche. So something to think about come playoff time is, not everything is the same when it hits playoffs and schedules and timing is different because there's not many other teams playing. This is the best of the best in the league for that season matching up. And I do think it gets into some of those players' psyche more than people or those players and coaches would want to admit. And I don't think the Texans were ready to ball at all.
No. And one thing you got to do in this late of the year, Tanner, is run the football. And the Texans did not do that. They had 38 total yards rushing. Against Ravens they had 229 yards rushing, with Lamar Jackson obviously popping off with 11 attempts, 100 yards and 2 tutties himself. So you have to run the football in the playoffs, and like Tanner said, they just did not show up ready to play football, and it hurt them because you can't rely on your rookie. No matter how good he is, he's still a rookie, and this is the playoffs, so you have to get a run game going to support him a little bit, give him a chance to ball. And they just did not do that, Tanner. They did not do that.
I mean, if you wanna, match up with a really strong and physical team like Baltimore, you got to come out ready to hit and ready to punch somebody in the mouth. And I don't think Houston was in that frame of mind at all. And it showed, like you said, that they absolutely could not establish anything on the ground and pound. Baltimore was clearly the more tenacious and physical team watching it. So I've always thought that of Baltimore, and they seem to be. I mean, their defense, you got players like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed back there, in the old days, and now you've got Patrick Queen back there, bringing that same nastiness to the defense.
Raekwon Smith,
playing
some damn good middle linebacking right now.
I mean, you got some heavy hitters, dude. So
for sure.
I think that's just the model of their team, and it fits them well.
Well, for sure. No, and they're playing good ball right now. I feel like they're on top of the world, and I'm excited to see Lamar play meaningful football because he's a damn good football player.
Yep.
So it's really nice. I'm excited to see kind of what the next few games may look like in the future here. In the future. Speaking of the future, we have another team that was the number 1 seed going into this weekend on the NFC side, the San Francisco 49ers, squeaking one out against Green Bay at home. Looked pretty sloppy, Tanner. I don't know if it might have been the off week the week before, a little rusty. It's kind of hard to get in the groove of things. While on the other hand, Green Bay has been rolling the last few games, so they're coming in on hot. And they kind of met weird in the middle and made some weird science. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on this game, and how do you thought? I mean, did you think the Packers had a chance going in? I mean,
Um,
we talked a little bit about it, but
you know, it was funny because last week I told everybody that I thought Houston was going to stay high, riding the wave that they were on, and that they would go out and regardless of the weather situation, come out with a win against Baltimore. Really, I guess I should have said that about the Packers, and my prediction would have came out a lot closer. Because they were kind of riding that same wave. Their quarterback was hot. Jordan Love was looking damn good there for a good stretch. And of course, having Aaron Jones back helped them tremendously back to his peak uh, performance shape. And then they play a team like the 49ers, and the 49ers proved that they can have a sloppy game, lose Debo Samuel for a little while, and still pull
huge
out a
loss.
win.
Yeah,
And I do think that was a big reason why they had planned to have Debo in there for them, and then all of a sudden that happens, and when you have that kind of blue chip key player on your team that you plan part of your offense around, that can cause some hiccups, and I think that's what we saw when they played Green Bay.
yeah. No, I agree, man. They were there, they were in it. In the beginning, at the end, they kind of started figuring out their ways. Like you said, trying to adjust to Debo. George Kittle came out and said that we had a heavy game plan of Debo against the backers, and in our arsenal. And with him going down, we expected him like 3 touchdowns that game. Like that's how kind of obviously important he was in the game plan that week coming up, or I guess the 2 week coming up, as they saw. So him going down really screwed up some things, and then so it took a little bit to get the wheels rolling back in that way. Jordan Love throws 2 interceptions. The biggest thing
Yeah,
I noticed was the 49ers defense was in Jordan Love's face all night and not really giving him a chance to even get to his second read, even not even close to his third read. And the 49ers have the best D line, probably the final 4 teams left right now. And that means a lot, especially in playoff football. As Tanner talked previously about the pound and the the grittiness about playoffs that you need to have. So it was interesting to watch that. I was watching that pretty closely, and then I'm like, you know what, this 49ers team might be legit, man. It might be
yeah,
legit.
yep,
So
yep.
yeah,
I'm a believer in the 49ers. High confidence in them moving forward. Um, and you know what? I think this game against Green Bay really says something for Christian McCaffrey and his value
MVP.
as a football player. Because without that kind of performance from him and making those huge plays when they had to have it, game sealing touchdown.
Oh yeah,
Um, I mean, he had answers all day for them, and his performance, and yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against him for MVP at this point.
yeah, and he's getting majority of the carries. So he had 17 rushes attempts for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 39 was the longest. And I guess the second rusher on the team was Brock Purdy with 6 attempts, 14 yards, and then Jay Jennings. I'm not sure who that was. So he had 1 attempt for a negative yard. So like it shows everything. The running game is on Christian McCaffrey,
Yep,
especially with Debo not being there for the later half of that game. So you have to feed him the rock, continue to get him going, and he's going to find that hole. And like you said, it just proves he really probably should be that MVP winner this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they all had a brain and the voters had a football eyes, they can see that game and just say, wow, like this team, they need him, and if he's not there, like Debo, if he's not there, the team don't really move very good. So,
Yep. Yep.
good outing by him. Love watching him run that football. He's so precise and he's so elusive, but also powerful. Just a great mix of everything. He has at speed, all of that. So good love watching him play ball. That's one of my favorite running backs for sure. But
Heck
yeah, no,
yeah.
it was a good game. Finally, we're getting some more closer matches, and teams butting heads a little bit more. Lack of the blowout of Baltimore and Houston. But and then so speaking of, we go to another game that was really close. Came down to the wire, and I'm talking Buffalo, Kansas City.
Oh
Tanner,
man.
I had my doubts about Kansas City going to Buffalo to play. First road game for Patrick Mahomes and the squad over there. So they proved me wrong, which okay, I get it. They play damn good football, man. What was your thoughts on this football game?
You're right. I mean, they did, and it's impressive. They're cleaning things up and issues up when it matters most, and they're putting together um, a more constructive offense that's giving them the results they need to move forward at this point, which is big time, especially when you go on the road to Buffalo, a team that's hungry to finally get that win over Kansas City, and obviously heartbreaking for Buffalo with not being able to advance two times now, and against the same opponent, the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think it'll be interesting to see the dynamic of that and how Buffalo approaches their game plans moving forward when it's playoff time against Kansas City, um, with Josh Allen not able to get them over the hump against them two times now.
Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks for Josh Allen and the NFL as in ratings wise. Josh Allen in playoffs is just fun to watch. Obviously, he was the leading rusher, leading passer, kind of doing it all over there at Buffalo. And I mean, Jordan Cook, he did all right. He had 18 attempts, only 61 yards, and nothing really production out of it. You got Josh Allen rush 12 times, 72 yards, and 2 tutties. So we got to get him some help. Got to get him some better people to kind of lean on. Um, it's just, I don't know. It was a good game all around. I think the refs need to stay out of it a little bit more. There were some kind of calls where it's like, all right, man, like that could have gone either way. Like it could have been left out and nothing would have been happening.
Yep, play
So,
ball.
but yeah, it's playoffs time. It's kind of like the NBA. You see a lot less people, a lot less fouls getting called in the NBA. In the playoffs, it's more, hey, let's let these guys play. Let's let these guys figure it out. Um,
Yeah,
so I'd like to see that a little bit more. But Kansas City, they had the ball bounce the right way, and it kind of worked out for them. And
yeah,
their
yeah,
run game right now is what's really getting me going. And like we keep talking, this is 3 games in a row we talk about run game, right? The playoffs run game is really important. So Pacheco, man, he run hard, and
yeah,
this time of year is the time that you run hard. 15 attempts, 97 yards, 1 touchdown, and for Patrick Mahomes to have that guy to turn around and hand the ball off to get some yards and make those short second and third downs. Shoo, it's dangerous. Patrick Mahomes is
oh
a good
yeah.
ball player.
Takes a
So
lot of
it's
pressure off the quarterback too. I tell you what. I mean,
yep,
when it's an easy decision when you just have to, make sure you're handing the ball off to the right guy and
that's
getting to
right.
the right check, to set him up for success after he gets the rock in his hands, and yeah, that's very nice to lean on, and at this point in the season for sure. I do want to talk a little bit about Stephon Diggs
Yeah,
and the situation there. He said that he wanted the ball more. He's looking. He wants to be more involved in the offense. Kind of falling off there, and he wanted to get going a little earlier. the biggest takeaway I have from Stephon Diggs in that game is he didn't make the plays when they were there to be made.
Yep.
You saw that deep ball go down the field,
Mm.
catchable ball, could have been an absolute game changer, right through his hands.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's an adjustment most receivers make in the NFL. They can make that quick
yeah,
adjustment and hand placement, etc. So that sucks for sure. 8 targets, only 3 receptions out of those 8. So you got to have some better percentages there. He's getting the ball toward you, but eventually he has to go somewhere else if it's not getting made. The play's not getting made there.
yep,
So that's kind of just how it is, and you can't fault anybody really. It just gotta comes down to that player. You got to make those plays. I mean, I'm sure there's some contested breakups and things like that. Well, that can happen, but when you have 8 targets, and only bringing in 3 of them, I'd like to see more. It's like bringing in 6, 5 of those 8, make it a little bit easier on the eye. But yeah,
right,
I
yeah,
agree. He's a big time player. He's that superstar, that number 1 receiver, and Josh Allen really needed him in that game. That's for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good ball game though. It was fun to watch. That was a nice little Sunday night kind of kick off to the week. Kind of like get your blood flowing for this playoff football.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of blood flowing, Detroit, Motor City, they were
Ooh,
buzzing again, man, and they pulled it off. They had a scare for a little bit versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they ended up grabbing the reins and pulling it in and calming down and getting things done. So good for him. Jared Goff's playing out of his freaking mind right now.
yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a stud. Like, good night. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good ball game. Tampa Bay played pretty hard in the beginning, and this random thought came up with Tampa Bay. Mike Evans might be maybe looking at the Colts coming soon. I don't know. I've seen some rumors going around. Tanner might be able to land Mike Evans.
Interesting.
Yeah, that might be a big player. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the game. What was your thoughts on the game, man? Was it kind of all it came up to be? I know we talked last week that this was going to be like the game of the week for both of us. So how did it
Yeah.
land in your plate?
Dude, I think it lives up to the hype. To be honest, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it from every aspect, and I'm just in complete awe of the Detroit Lions offense. There's their O line through their skill positions of just man, that is a fluid running, smooth machine that doesn't sign any or doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I mean, uh,
Mm-mm.
Jared Goff, the reason he's having those great games is because of the supporting cast around him. Not taking anything away from him. I mean, he's
No,
a
for
guy
sure.
that still has to make the decisions out on the field. But when you got a Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Chase Reynolds, or Josh Reynolds, sorry,
Sam
and
Laporta
Sam Laporta, Jahmyr
playing on
Gibbs,
playing on a
David
bum knee.
Montgomery. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, I mean, there's not a weak spot on that offense, in my opinion, and it's fun to watch.
it was very
And then
fun.
you turn around and you get this nasty, hard hitting defense that's living uh, by Coach Campbell's motto.
Biting
It's
kneecaps,
just fun to
baby.
watch.
Biting kneecaps. Yeah, no, you got Jack Campbell doing the business in the middle, running the defense. You got freaking Aiden Hutchinson on the edge. You got some DBs that are nasty. So they're playing good football right now, and that's the weakest part of their team is probably their back end of that defense right now. And
Yeah.
if your front seven can get the job done, you might be in a situation where you're okay, and you might see yourself in the Super Bowl. But that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? So we talk
It
about number 1 receivers
would
like
be.
Stephon Diggs, right? Armand St. Brown, 14 targets, 8 receptions, 77 yards and a touchdown. Like those are numbers that you need, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's I think six off of receptions to targets, but then look underneath them, supporting cast, right? Sam Laporta, 11 targets, 9 receptions, 65 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, four receptions or 4 targets, 4 receptions out of the backfield. Jameer Williams, I think it is. Jameis Williams.
Jameson Williams, yep.
Jameson Williams. So he was 50% for 4 targets, 2 receptions. Like it goes all the way down the line. Like the ball's getting spread around. Running wise, Jahmyr Gibbs, head horse, knocking things down. Montgomery, right behind him in the same carries. Like it's a perfect balance they have going on, and they're getting production out of them all, and it's nuts. It's nuts to watch, and it's been very fun. And there's not a lot of turnovers. And I think that's what killed Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tanner. Those turnovers, two picks, and can't have that in playoff football, especially not a good offense like this. Keep giving the ball back to them.
Yep, I think Baker was trying to play loose in that moment, and he played a little too loose, in my opinion, and got just a little reckless with some of those throws against Detroit, and I think that's why they kind of gotten some of the pickles they got into. And I get it. If you're in Baker's shoes, you're out there with the chip on your shoulder trying to prove that you deserve more than a 1-year contract there at Tampa, which I still believe he does.
Yeah, he's proven that this whole season.
Yeah, but it's a big moment, and I get it. He wanted it, but maybe reel yourself in a little bit and make the decisions that you've been making, during this regular season to get you to this point. Don't try to do too much outside of your capabilities, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense, and that's his style, and that's what he leans on. But you have to know, as a professional, when to kind of rein it in a little bit. Kind of look to your teammates to kind of carry a little bit more weight. And they might have had a better, outcome to that football game. But no, it was a great divisional round weekend. Every game was enjoyable for at least a little bit of it. Even almost the whole game of the Houston-Baltimore, just watching Lamar run around and do his thing was just awesome to see. As a whole, so great football. I had a great time. I'm hoping you guys' teams winning that football community is advancing, and you're getting to watch them one more, or hopefully 2 more times, but at least 1 more time this next upcoming weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a blast for sure. Tanner and I were I was on Disney on Saturday, and Tanner went on Sunday, so we're kind of running around trying to catch the games in between. But no, we got a good chance to watch that. It was a good time.
Yes, sir.
Good time. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about coaching carousel and kind of what's open, what's going on, and what's the breaking news at this moment. Hang on, I gotta pull this up. So right now, breaking news, right now, as of today, not like it just happened like 3 seconds ago, but Jim Harbaugh, your Michigan Wolverines head coach, is now going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. And I got a few questions, Tanner, for you that we can discuss. I guess, what does that mean for the Chargers? Like, is this a positive? Is this a negative? Is this going to help, you think, going forward here?
Well, I think it's a positive for them because you know that Harbaugh, like you did at Michigan, is going to have that fantastic supporting staff behind him.
Absolutely.
That hopefully he puts together. Hell, I'd be pretty damn excited if he just brought that whole Michigan Wolverines supporting staff that he had this year. Just ship them all over to LA and see how they do, and watch them carry old Harbaugh to the Super Bowl, like they carried him to a natty. But who knows? I don't know. I'm not one way or another right now about it. I think he's got the hype because he's the hottest coach in college football right now after winning the Natty. So, I don't know. Good for him. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Maybe his NFL career will crash and burn like Saban's did. But we'll see.
We shall see. So Justin Herbert, obviously, he inherits Justin Herbert and that offense with Mike Williams and Austin Eckler and some nice tools that a lot of people the last couple of years have been really high on the Chargers and thought they could get more production out of them. They just haven't lived up to the hype. So, do you think Justin Herbert takes more of a leap here, as Harbaugh is a quarterback coach in a sense, like that he focuses on the quarterbacks? And what do you think his play comes out to be here real soon?
Yeah, I do think he helps Herbert in his career take the right next steps. This isn't. I shouldn't say this is Harbaugh's first time in the NFL because it's not. He was there with San Fran, and he
Mm-hmm.
helped. Oh Lord, it's I'm losing them. Whenever they made their Super Bowl run against the
With
Ravens,
Kaepernick,
Colin Kaepernick, I think.
yep,
Yeah,
and
Harbaugh had a
Alex Smith
huge.
a little bit,
Yep, huge impact on the progression of Colin Kaepernick, and really made him a great competitor when he got to the Super Bowl in that Super Bowl run, and even in the big game.
yeah,
You can see a lot of what Harbaugh was teaching him replicated on the field.
yeah,
So I do think Harbaugh is kind of one of those quarterback gurus, and should definitely be a beneficiary for Justin Herbert.
oh yeah, man. And I mean, honestly, it's hard, going from college to the NFL. Not a lot of people can do it successfully. It takes a hell of a person and a hell of a coach to do it. And with him being out of the NFL for 8 years, as he was at Michigan coaching, a lot of things change in the NFL very quickly. So we'll see kind of how it looks, and I'm kind of excited to watch how they can develop over there. As like I
Yep,
mentioned earlier, they have some good weapons, good talent that they can lean on, and hopefully can keep around. With salary cap and all that to hopefully make a little run. Have another LA team competitive and all that. So I'm leaning out of the Chargers. Let's lean more towards Michigan and see what the outlook there. What do you think that program looks like now that Harbaugh is going to be gone? Um, excuse me, the next couple of seasons, recruiting wise, coaching and things like that. Because Harbaugh did really, he was a Michigan man, right? So he really built that community up, and he did a pretty damn good job. Obviously, winning Natty and all that. So, what do you think the outlook of Michigan is in 2024?
still I think they're still going to be pretty damn good, to be honest. He set a foundation there. Like I said, with that great crew that he put together, kind of laid the landscape a little more clear for everybody that's going to step foot on campus and into those meeting rooms and onto the practice field. I think the foundation is laid. He was definitely their cornerstone um, in that, and yeah, I think they're still going to be just as competitive as they were with him, and now without him, I don't think they take a step back at all.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with you. Like you said, he built the program. He's done it, and laid the foundation for success for whoever takes over. And I really hope it's that offense coordinator that interned him for his head coaching, and while he was out. I really think he deserves a shot to lead a team and develop a team. He has emotion and he has a know-how. So, like you say, his team helped carry him. So hopefully he gets a chance. I think that'd be pretty cool. Because there's not a lot of coaches
Absolutely.
right now to be floating around college. It's mainly the NFL right now that's floating college coaches around. So with Michigan losing their head coach, and we just touched on they might be all right. They might be all right in the future with the Big Ten now merging into a bigger conference. A lot better, a lot of talent coming in team wise. Washington, Oregon, and things like that. USC, UCLA, all coming into the Big Ten this next upcoming season. So what Ohio State looks like they're loading the bag.
Yeah.
Alabama's Caleb Downs. has transferred to Ohio State. He's a safety, pretty much an all American as a freshman. And also you got Justin or Jalen Sane, a quarterback, is number 3 overall pick, or not overall pick, overall recruit, 5-star. He decommitted from Alabama. Thank you. Sorry, wife brought me a drink. But he decommitted from Alabama, and now they're going to Ohio State. So a couple of these guys leaving the big time in Alabama, their head coaching change, and they're looking at Ohio State. So what do you think? Do you think Ohio State's loading the bag so they can be the monsters of the Big Ten?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean
Opportunity has to be there. You got to.
yeah, I mean, it's clear they're winning the race right now in terms of recruiting and the transfer portal and all that. I think it's pretty clear that they are the hot destination for all those players that are thinking that they're going to get their shot to win a natty and be in the best position as possible to get in the NFL draft and extend their careers professionally. We're getting ready to see a brand new age of football, and it's almost uh, like everybody's wiping a clean slate and starting over
Yeah.
for how they view the college football world. And maybe that's a little bit of the shift that we're seeing and the players' minds as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like I said, brand new slate coming up, 2024, 12-team playoff. It's going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely insane to watch that unfold. The Big Ten's trying to load up. And while we're on the topic, do you think the Big Ten might be a little bit more strong of a conference than the SEC down south?
Ooh, boy.
Does Big Ten take over as a football conference now? I don't know.
I
It's
don't
tough.
know. Be hard to
That's
do. Be hard to do with football and basketball, but man, they're starting to look like. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's give it next year
I say
I
I give
guess
it.
this year and see.
Yeah, give it 2 years and kind of see how it plays out, because a lot of things. But they're like, it's all great and dandy. They're loading up, but they're gonna beat the heck out of each other all week long. And you might have to
Yep.
be a 3-loss Big Ten team and 12th in the country trying to make it into the playoffs, man. So it might be interesting to watch. I love me some college football.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so transferring to the NFL back here, we talked about Jim Harbaugh taking the Los Angeles Chargers position. So we got a couple more teams still looking for a head coach right now, Tanner, and that's going to be the Washington Commanders, your Seattle Seahawks, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Carolina Panthers. So do you have any kind of, I guess, insight on who you see landing where, and what's your thoughts on that?
Man, those are like, I hate to. Sorry to all those fans out there right
Just say
now.
it. Yeah, lay it on her.
Outside of the Raiders, I feel like these coaches are looking at those teams and are like, man, I'm getting ready to go potentially coach the scum of the league.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Bottom of
what
the
I mean.
barrel.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. That's not an attractive destination unless you get that guarantee from management that they're gonna give you a time to establish your program and your values and kind of give you a few seasons to put together a team that's capable of making a playoff run.
Yeah.
And you saw it with Frank Reich in Carolina. Um, that dude was in and out just like that and didn't have much time to establish anything.
No.
So with that kind of mindset from some of those organizations, um, man, it's hard to put your finger on anybody that's really jumping off their seat to go coach them.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're in a weird time, and I forgot Tennessee Titans, and Las Vegas Raiders, like Tanner was saying. No, it's an interesting time right now in the NFL, because a lot of the coaches and the experienced guys that are kind of searching for a job, they're also 70-ish plus years old, And like you're saying, how long and how much patience do you have as an owner to develop, right? So he gets in there for 2 years and nothing's going. You got a young head coach, young buck, just had a hell of an offensive coordinator season, or whatever, defense coordinator, what have you. How do you not look at that as an owner as an attractive? Yeah, hey, I need him in here, young guy, and things like that. So it's tough. I think the offensive coordinator for Detroit Lions, I don't remember his name, but I know I've seen his title pop up a few times.
Yep.
Obviously, they can't talk yet because they're still playing and doing their thing, and they got one goal, and that's to win a Super Bowl right now for these Final Four teams. But there's some young players that not a lot of people might see as contenders, but the names that are out there: Pete Carroll, older guy. He's been in the league for a long time, had great success in his career.
In
He
his
might,
70s. I mean,
yeah, and I
woo.
know he was eyeing the Chargers position, and obviously they went with the hardball instead.
Yep.
So it kind of be interesting to see where he lands.
And they filled the Raiders head coaching vacancy and Tennessee's just recently too.
Just
So
recently,
I
yes,
mean,
yes. So I mean, you only have a few teams, and like you said, it's bottom of the barrel, right? Seattle Seahawks. They got some decent players up there, but they just need that leader, right? What might be the most Atlanta and the Seattle might be the most attractive positions or teams available. Commanders, I mean, what? I mean, you have to be just itching for a head coach job to really put your name out there, and maybe just don't want to risk it as a young player and ruin your title, ruin your reputation. Go to Commanders and suck for 4 years. Because it takes time to flip these teams around. It doesn't happen like college. You can't transfer portal, this, that, and the other. So I don't know. I think Bill Belichick lands at Atlanta Falcons. That seems the most reasonable location for him. Something that he would do, like you explained. Like he knows he can go in there. There's tools. And like Carolina and the Commanders, it's just too much. There's too much turnover and chaos. I guess I should say over there. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what the next couple of weeks play out here, especially after the Super Bowl. You kind of see a little bit more movement to get these head coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a tough job, man. It's tough to be an NFL head coach. I can tell you that. It's not for the weak. I can tell you. And like you said, Frank Reich getting ran out. I thought he was a decent coach here at the Colts for a while. Like I thought he did good things. I liked what he did. And all of a sudden, flip a switch, he's gone. And then 1 year later, he's gone again from another squad. So
yeah,
and the NFL can eat you up and spit you out quicker than you can even think about it. So it's a crazy league that we like to cover. That's for sure. Crazy
for
league.
sure.
Let's see what else we got to talk about today. Let's see what else you got on your mind, Tanner. You got anything else football wise that's kind of itching at you?
Dude, tell you what. What do you think? What do you think about Jason Kelsey getting rowdy for his brother after that touchdown that he had over the weekend?
So I'm seeing mixed things about this, and I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know why people have so much hate in their heart, and just yeah, straight up hate. I don't understand it. So listen, this man's a retired football player, recent retired. He's in great shape still, okay, and he's a father of a few daughters. He's a husband. He's a brother. He's a normal human being just like you and I, right? So why can't he have a little bit of fun? Right? No harm, no foul. Why can't he have some fun? Enjoy his life. Good for him. So my speech is on that is good for him. Let Jason do Jason. He's a good dude. If you don't know anything about him, then probably shut your mouth. Let him do his thing, man.
Absolutely.
He's retired. He's had a great career, made a great living for his family and himself. Great name, and he's not done making a change in the Philadelphia community, I don't think. And I think he always will have that in their heart. I think he moves on and does some even better things in life, just benefiting people. And then I see all how he's letting little girls kind of peep in there and say hey to Taylor, like with their signs and stuff. That was so cool. Like he's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I love him getting rowdy. I love him having some fun, letting loose. Enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Enjoy
The
life.
way he jumped in and out of that press box was
Athlete,
impressive too. I
dude,
mean,
world class athlete.
effortlessly.
He might look like he drank some few beers. He does, but guess what? He's better than you times 10 as an athlete. I don't care who you are,
Oh yeah.
dude. And like you talk about bringing sexy back to the offensive line. The offensive linemen, you all need to pay attention, man. These guys are freaking athletes.
Oh yeah.
So no, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Cheer for your brother, man. I'd be getting wild too if my brother's out there
Heck
scoring
yeah.
cutties
Eh,
and moving on to a divisional, moving through the divisional, etc. Like it's badass. And think
yeah.
about the life that he has, right? His brother,
Woo.
possibly sister-in-law, is Taylor Swift. Okay, his
Just
wife is a
made over,
badass.
what was it, 1.2 billion or
Billion,
1.8 billion
yeah,
on the Eras tour?
yeah.
I
On
mean,
one
holy
tour, Tanner.
shit.
People can't even make that in a freaking lifetime.
Yeah.
So he has that. His wife's a badass. He has amazing kids. He's awesome. His mom and dad are awesome. Like he is in a good spot, and good for him. Good for him. People should be praising him and being proud of him. And I've just been seeing some nasty things on the internet. I just don't get it. Where
Yeah.
people talking about, oh, we don't need to be showing celebrities and stuff. It's fun. It's exciting. The
Yeah.
NFL is entertainment.
That's right.
It's not just football. There's a lot of
the
things that go on.
highest entertainment commodity in the world. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
right there with you, dude. And you know what? Jason Kelsey's going to be one of the more prominent public figures that we have in our time here on this earth. Just watch. I mean, he's not done. Like you said, supporting the community. He's got his New Heights podcast with Travis
Which
that
is
is
awesome. If
exploding.
you have not tuned into
And
that, you should. It's a
yeah,
great
yeah. I
podcast.
mean, good shit there. So yeah, not the last we're gonna see from him if he's not on the football field anymore, which pretty clear that he's gonna be retired. Um, we're gonna still see a lot of them, and I love
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah, I love it too. I love it. And then, I just love the support for his brother, his family, and what the Kelseys do, Mama Kelsey and Papa Kelsey. Just the support for their kids. It just shows, and it's just nice. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Oh
No
yeah,
matter who you are, it takes little effort just to love on people, man. Just a little effort. It don't take a lot. So I challenge y'all to just love on somebody, man. Get the hate out of your heart and just love on somebody for a little bit.
hell yeah,
It's a way better feeling than talking crap and talking down and death on people. I can promise you. I promise you that right now.
for sure.
So we did a little mental health check last week, Tanner. Let's just do it again, right? Let's see how we're doing, Tanner. How is your headspace doing? How are you doing mentally? I know you're handling some crazy new things here at your new job and trying to fluctuate that with maybe new hours and new commutes with coming home with family. And how is all that kind of stewing in your pot, Tanner?
You know what? I'm trying to look at the bigger picture and not get too overwhelmed by all of it. Which I think has helped me kind of compartmentalize things a little easier. Just taking things day by day, and working through each thing as they come. So that's been good. I'm starting to get into a groove of things now that I've been back home for a little bit, which has also helped.
No, I was gonna say that's
Um,
huge help for you.
yeah. So no, I'm feeling I'm in a better space right now. I would say than I was a week ago for sure.
Damn right.
Um, and it's all about what can you do to get better, and get out of a rut or whatever. You just got to make some adjustments and make sure you're talking to people and being a good communicator, and things will sort themselves out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if we're not making progress, what are we doing? What are we doing day to day if you're not progressing, even just a percentage, right? So I'm glad to hear that you're on the up and up. Things are, the graph is shooting up a little higher, right? That's
Oh yeah,
awesome. And like you said, you being home, back with your kids, back with your wife, your grandpa, your grandma, things like that around your family. It's just nice. It makes things a lot easier with the support system around you, putting their arm around you and helping you out. So
oh yeah, for
that's good to
sure,
hear, man.
for sure.
I'm glad to hear it. All I
Yep,
and I do know my life is gonna get a lot easier when I get to give you a big old squeezy hug this weekend. I cannot wait for
that's
that.
right.
I can't wait to see the
Yeah,
edges and the Bradleys and the Squirty Wirt coming up, man. A lot of friends and family gonna be in town this weekend for my little girl's birthday, and it's just so much fun. See, these kids give me heart
absolutely,
attacks and my blood pressure's out the roof. But at the end of the day, they bring so much things in your life that you don't even realize, and even just like these small moments of just being able to hang out for even just a few hours, it's just gonna be so much fun. Can't wait.
absolutely. No, I'm right there with you, man. And just before I hand it over to you to get kind of your check in, I do want to say, um, you know, tonight before bed, sweet little story about my son Memphis.
Oh boy.
Lexi and Memphis normally do a nighttime prayer
Hmm.
before bed, where he'll either pray out loud or Lexi will, and then at times he'll chime in with what he wants to add in. Um, just absolutely precious. Well, after that prayer was over, out of the blue, he asked about my grandma who actually passed away last year. We called her Mimi. My grandma on my mom's side. Um, Super sweet. Miss her. Um, she went and met the good Lord, and Memphis had some questions about that tonight. All of a sudden, trying to wrap his head around it, and kind of just puts things in perspective. If young parents out there, just keep in mind that even though your kids are might be young and not fully comprehending the situation, they're taking a lot of that in without you noticing, and kind of taking their own mental notes on things and trying to make sense of everything, right when you're in the thick of it as well. And so
Hmm.
just kind of something to be cognizant about is just you know pay attention to what your kids are experiencing and being exposed to, and try to see some things through their lens, and how they see the world at
Mm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old,
Yeah.
because when those questions hit, they're gonna at times they might hit hard, like
Oh
they
yeah.
did tonight, and to see him get emotional, or to hear about him getting emotional as I'm doing the dishes and my wife comes down to tell me that story. Um, it's important. I mean,
Yeah.
those things in life impact you and your family members in different ways, and to hear my wife tell me, you know they stopped talking about it for a minute, and she heard him sniffle, and had he ended up having some tears roll down his face, and she said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he says, "I just miss my Mimi."
Yeah. That
For him to
hits,
be
man.
3 years old and feel that way about somebody that I had known my whole life, it's a big impact.
Oh yeah.
It makes you put things in perspective, and really think about, um, how we're introducing our kids to people, especially people we love and care about, and how they latch on to them so quickly because, oh, that's my dad's grandma, and
Right.
now she's my great grandma, and
Oh yeah.
things like that. It's you know it turned a sad. It's you always miss and love, have love in your heart for the people who have left this world, especially when they're family and friends. But it really kind of, instead of being sad, it kind of brought a little smile to my face thinking
Yeah,
about,
absolutely, man. That's awesome.
she's still making an impact on my little boy's life, and
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 always will,
and helping him learn lessons along the way. Um, so pretty special.
for
But
sure.
anyways,
No, dude, and what's nice is, as like you said, young parents and just parents in general, we set the stage and for the environment that our children grow up in, right? So you get to choose every day, are we going to do this? Are we going to argue in front of our children today? Or are we going to, are we going to say bad words or, and talk death over people? Like, oh, we set the stage. Are we going to talk, Jesus? Are we going to talk God? Are we going to instill different things in them every single day? You have that choice. And like you said, these kids are watching. These kids are very smart. Okay. They understand what's going on. They can sense environment. They can sense, emotions now, as they get older. And I tell you what, it's we have a funny story, man. At dinner on Tuesday last night, we were sitting there, and then all of a sudden, Hadley goes, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh no!"
that's Zach Witt if I've ever heard him.
Yeah, I was just like, I had to put my face down. I was trying not to laugh, man. It was a full circle moment of, like you said, you got to be conscious of what you're doing, man. Sometimes, what the hell?
Oh,
It
that's
was funny,
great.
but I was just like, oh no, that type of moment as a parent. Um, but to tie in kind of with your story, like, if Hadley will ask about Uncle B, right? Or not, she hasn't asked about him, but more of the sense like she can see him in pictures, point him out, type thing, and stuff
Yep.
like that. But I'm not ready for that day where she asks about Uncle B and where he is or what's going on, like why is he not with us and things like that. So I'm not ready for that day. Um, but yeah, it's coming. I know that it's coming down the road, like you say. You out of nowhere, out of the blue,
Yep.
and they watch, they hear you, and they listen to what you're doing day by day. So
Right.
man, these kids are awesome. I love these damn kids. Just so they bring you so much
Yeah.
joy in life.
Pretty special.
Absolutely, man.
Anyways,
Absolutely,
let me have it. How you doing, buddy? Where you
dude.
at?
I'm doing good. I was about, like I said, about 50-50 last week. This week I think I'm more about the 75 range, but maybe even a little higher. Things are good. I'm on a high rise right now. Obviously, like we talked about the birthday party. I'm super excited for that, for her to experience a legit birthday party. The ones and twos, it's kind of but then finally, we're putting some stuff together, getting things figured out for her, and I just can't wait to see her have a special day and hang out with our special family and family members in our life. So that's super cool to come celebrate with her, and
Heck yeah.
we're pumped. We can't wait for that. And yeah, just things are just kind of making sense again. The fog is kind of clearing, and day by day, hour by hour, things are kind of making a little bit more sense and kind of going more our way this week, than the previous week. So it's
Good.
good to hear. It's good to feel, especially. Just you don't want things going the opposite way. Feel like you're getting out of control. So it's
Yep.
nice now. No, but mentally we're doing all right, man. And I just love my job. Honestly, it's changed my outlook on everything, and it just makes me feel better. It like the other
Good.
day we had the ice storm up here, right? And then my boss texted me, "Hey, if it's unsafe to drive, you need to stay home and work from home." And like just having that option and her caring enough about me, knowing I have a family and just in general, like as a person, like he doesn't want to see anything bad happen to us, her employees. So shout out to her. She's a badass boss, and she really does care about her people, and it makes you feel good. It really makes you go
Heck
throughout your
yeah.
day like, hey, you know what? She got my back. Like she's not out here, you know, looking against us. She's with us. So it makes you feel good as well. So yeah, and I might be getting
Absolutely.
a new office with an actual door out of the cubicle. Might be moving upstairs, big dog. So
Oh my.
that makes Big Papa Z happy. I can tell you that.
That's incredible.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so nice.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's the cubicles are fun, man, but it is loud, and noisy, and yeah, I have a tough time focusing. So this girl in our office is getting a new position, so she's gonna be more remote, working at home and kind of bouncing around different locations. So I'm like, hey, what are we doing with this office? Like, she's like, well, I guess we can't just give it to her for her when she stops in. Like, that's not fair. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I should take it. So I'm hoping I hope that works out. I can't wait for that. It's going to help out mentally as well. Just kind of be able to get in a good, nice space. Be able to sit down, focus on my work, and actually do what I need to do without all the traffic and the hooting and hollering and all that fun stuff downstairs. So
absolutely
pumped about that for sure. Oh man,
love that,
dude. Things are looking up for both of us, and that's awesome.
Good stuff.
Excuse me. And if they're not looking up for you, if you guys are listening, or you guys or girls listening, and you're having a tough time, if you just want to chat, it could be anything. Reach out on Facebook. If you got our numbers, hit us up on there, or however you need to go, and we'll sit and chat with you. I have no problem doing that. I can cut out some time of my night and my day, and just make sure you're doing all right.
Absolutely.
Whether I know you or I don't know you, So, if you're having a tough time, you don't really know who to talk to, and you're, oh, I don't want to be judged and things like that. No, ain't no judgment. Come on,
Nope.
get it out, get it off your chest, so you can have a better rest of your day, better rest of your week, things like that. It'll snowball for sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Well, I guess Tanner, we send these beautiful people off in their evening, their day, their commute, whatever they're doing, however you're listening. Remember, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok. So I'm trying to get more posted. I failed miserably last week again, but been busy. So, but we're trying to get some things on TikTok. But the main production, I guess, is YouTube. So make sure you go subscribe. I think we're at like 39 subscriptions now, so it is growing slowly but surely. So like I said, I would love to get to 50 by April, before the draft, NFL draft. So share with your friends. Drop a sub, drop a like, comment in the video. That really helps out.
Staying in Indy. The draft is still in Indy. Thank the Lord. That's good. God.
That's great for the city of Indianapolis.
Yes, sir.
The NBA All-Star game is in Indianapolis this year too. I just saw that.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
The airport, the Indianapolis airport is decked out with a NBA All-Star court, and dead center of their food court. It's badass.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So pretty cool. What they did there.
Heck yeah. Well, good job, Indy. Good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us TikTok. Don't be scared over there. Comment bull crap with us on our videos and things like that. And and obviously the Facebook group. So yeah, we love you guys. It would help out if you just keep subscribing, liking, and following along. And regardless, we're gonna keep producing the videos for you, whether to listen to or not. So we love you. You guys have a great rest of your week, and let's enjoy some football while it lasts. A couple more games left, and that's all we got.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Peace out, guys.
Love y'all. Peace out.